Okay, we're taking a look at our half-life problems. These are the extra problems posted on Google Classroom, and the solution key is already out there, but some of you have requested to have an actual video to walk through how to solve these. So there are 3 videos that we'll start with. One is how much sample remains. Video 2 will cover what is the half-life, so we'll calculate how to determine a half-life. And then number 5 will be the 3rd video that says how much is the initial sample. So for this video 1, how much of a 100-gram sample of gold, AU, is left after 8.10 days if the half-life is 2.7 days? So you do not have to write the knowns and the unknowns each time. However, if you find yourself stuck, it's a good place to start. So we have an initial amount of 100 grams. Our elapsed time is 8.10 days, and our half-life is 2.7 days. What are we looking for? How much of our radioisotope will be left. So you can use the equation that we presented in class, but for this one, the EOC, you'll be able to solve all of your problems using a conceptual chart. So we're going to use the time and the amount. It doesn't matter what order you put it in, but I would suggest consistency so that you have a habit of problem solving the same way each time. So the time is going to be a total of 8.1 days. That means I'm going to start with 100 grams at 0 time. So my initial sample, this is key, starts at 0. No time has gone by. Now, after 1 half-life, that means that half of my sample is gone. I will have gone down to 50. After my half-life of 2.7 days. Now, I'm not going to know when to stop because it didn't tell me how many half-lives I have. So what I am going to do is use that I need to know that 8.1 days have passed by. So I'm going to add 2.7 to my initial starting time of 0 until I reach 8.10. So that means 0 plus 2.7 is going to give me 2.7. I'm going to say 2.7 plus 2.7 to give me 5.4. So you don't have to write this, but this is what we just did. We added 2.7 and got 5.4. Now I'm going to add 2.7 to 5.4, and I'm going to end up with 8.10. And sure enough, that is the number of days that have elapsed. So how many half-lives have gone by? 1, 2, 3. How do we know? Well, I started with 100. I halved my sample to 50 on my first half-life. I halved it again at 5.4 days. And that sample has completely decayed. So now we are at 25. Divide that by 2 to get 12.5 grams. So after 8.10 days have gone by, you have a remaining 12.5. You can double check this by saying 12.5 times 2 is 25, times 2 is 50, times 2 is 100. So you're going to find that you are literally dividing your sample by 2 every single time. And that is how to find the remaining amount of time. If you were curious and you wanted to add in how many half-lives went by, you could add or mentally add on one more column. 0 half-lives have gone by at 0 time with 100 grams to start. I halved it to 50. That was 1. I halved the sample again to get to 5.4 seconds. Second half-life. And my third half-life happened at 8.10 days. And I ended with 12.5 grams. So that is another way that you can double check. Check out our video number 2 if you want to learn number 2 from the worksheet.